Okay, so today we're talking about converting rates and measurements. We will convert rates using dimensional analysis, and we will convert between systems of measurement. So dimensional analysis, what is it? It is the process of including units of measurement as factors when you compute. For example, you know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. You can write conversion factors 1 hour to 60 minutes. Let's see. So you can write conversion factors 1 hour to 60 minutes or 60 minutes to 1 hour. Each ratio is equivalent to 1 because the numerator and denominator represent the same amount. All right, so let's take a look at this. We are to convert 760 miles per hour to miles per minute. So you need to convert miles per hour to miles per minute. Choose a conversion factor that converts hours to minutes with minutes in the denominator. So for example, we're looking right here. We have miles in the numerator, hour in the denominator, miles per hour. That's what we are right now. Well, when we want to convert that to miles per minute, we would have to make sure that we're doing hours over minute. That way you can simplify or cross out the hours. Okay, and when you do that and then multiply straight across, you're going to end up with miles on the top, or the numerator, and you would end up with minutes in the bottom, or the denominator. Okay, so if you have the same unit of measure in the numerator and the denominator, like in hours in this example, you can cross them out. So if I would have done it the reverse way, I would have had miles times minutes and then hour times hour, or hour squared. So that would not work. So it's important that you have them in the right order. Okay? So I know I'm going to use 1 hour per 60 minutes. Then I would just come down here and I could multiply 760 miles per hour times 1 hour per 60 minutes. Then again, I can cross out the hours, and that's 1 and 1. Multiply straight across. Excuse me. 760 times 1 is 760 miles, and 1 times 60 is 60 minutes. And then I simply just need to divide 760 by 60, and that would give me approximately, remember that the two wavy lines means approximate because we're rounding the decimal. So 760 divided by 60 is approximately 12.7 miles per 1 minute, or 12.7 miles per minute. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at this one. It says the average teenager spends $1,742 per year on fashion-related items. How much is this per week? All right, so we know we have $1,742 per year, so 1 year, okay? And we need to convert this to money per week. Well, remember there's 52 weeks equals 1 year, okay? So years is in my denominator, so year would have to be in my numerator. So 1 year to 52 weeks, okay? All right, so now we take a look at that and we can cross out the year, and then we can multiply straight across. And I would have $1,742, and we can just put a dollar sign then, over 52 weeks. And then I would just simply divide 1,742 by 52, and I would get approximately $33.50 per week. Okay? All right. So here's another one, example. It says, Trey and 3 friends attend skiing class before their first jump. The instructor tells them they will travel at about 176 feet per second. How many miles per hour is this? So we need to convert the feet per second to miles per hour. So we're actually converting a couple of different things here. So we're going to use 1 mile equals 5,280 feet, and 1 hour equals 3,600 seconds, okay? So we start with what we know. We know 176 feet per second, okay? So we start with what we know. Then we're going to multiply that. We have to convert the feet to miles. So we can multiply that times 1 mile over 5,280 feet. Feet is in the numerator, so feet has to be in the denominator, so I can cross those out. Then I also have to convert the seconds to hours. So I'm going to multiply that times 3,600 seconds over 1 hour. Again, the seconds are in the denominator, so when I convert, the seconds have to be in the numerator. So now I take a look at what I can simplify, okay? Well, I know the seconds can go out and the feet can go out. Now, when I look straight across at the top, all I have is miles. Straight across the bottom is hours. I'm looking for miles per hour, so I know I have my problem set up correctly. Now, I can simplify before I multiply, or I could simplify after I multiply. It does not matter, okay? If I simplify before I multiply, then I know that I can 176 will go into 5,280 30 times, and then 30 will go into 3,600 120 times, and then I multiply straight across and I get 120 miles per hour, okay? Or simply, I could just take 176 times 1 times 3,600 and put that over 1 times 5,280 times 1, and then divide it, and I would still get 120 miles, okay? So 176 feet per second is equivalent, or the same thing, as 120 miles per hour. All right, so let's try this one. It says, TGV is a high-speed rail train in France. At top speed, it runs at an average of 320 kilometers per hour. How many meters per second is this? So we know what we have, and we know what we need to get to, okay? So we would simply say 320 kilometers per 1 hour, okay? Now, we have to, we know we have to, a couple of conversions here. So the first conversion we could take a look at, and it doesn't matter which order you do, but we're going to do hours to seconds first. Now, hours is in my denominator, so I'm going to put hour in my numerator, and that would be over 3,600 seconds, okay? Now remember, that's just 60 seconds to a minute, 60 minutes to an hour, 3,600 seconds to an hour. Okay. I keep writing equal sign, but it's really multiply. Okay. So that gets me to my seconds, because I can cross out hours. And then I have to go from kilometers to meters. So I know that there are 1,000 meters to every 1 kilometer. Again, kilometer has to be in the denominator because originally it's in the numerator, and for me to cross those out, one has to be in the top, one has to be in the bottom. Now, when I look straight across, my unit of measures, what do I have? All I have in the top is meters, and all I have in the bottom is seconds. That's what it asked me for the problem, so I know I have it set up right. Now I can, again, simplify before I multiply, or just multiply straight across. Since we simplified the first time, let's just multiply straight across on this one just to show you that it works, okay? So 320 times 1 times 1,000 would be 320,000 over 3600. And when you divide that out, you're going to get approximately 88.9. So I would say 88.9 meters per second. Okay? All right. So we can convert between systems also. So I'm going to show you a table in a minute that shows conversion factors between the customary and metric systems for units of length, capacity, and mass or weight. So you can use dimensional analysis, which is what we were just doing, to convert between measurement systems. The two conversion factors, 1 foot, which equals 0.305 meters, and 0.305 meters per 1 foot, use the same conversion. Use the factor that will correctly divide out the appropriate common unit. So here is an example, or here is some, obviously not all, of the conversions that there are. But if you look, we have customary to metric, okay, on the left side, and we have metric to customary on the right side. And there are some common ones for length, capacity, and weight, and mass. Okay, so you can utilize this when you're working your problems. Okay, so this is something to keep handy with you. All right. So this first example says to complete each conversion, round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so always read your instructions on where to round. So we have 12 centimeters to inches. Well, if we look at the table, 1 inch is approximately 2.54 centimeters. So all we would have to do is, since we're going centimeters to inches, is make sure that centimeter is in the denominator, and we just take 12 centimeters times 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. And if we do that, then we're just simply taking 12 centimeters divided by 2.54, which is going to give me 4.72 inches. Okay? All right. So let's look at B. B says 1 quart, 4 quarts to liters. How many liters are 4 quarts? Well, 1 quart is approximately 0.946 liters. So I could take 4 quarts times, and in this case, I can put, if I put quarts at the bottom, then I am multiplying. So I would multiply 4 quarts times 0.946. And when we cross out, we end up with just liters, and we end up with approximately 3.78 liters. So let's look at these. We have 6 miles to however many kilometers. And 1 mile is approximately 1.609 kilometers. Okay? So I could take 6 miles and multiply that times 1.609 kilometers over 1 mile. Miles cross out, multiply 6 times 1.069, and I get approximately 9.65 kilometers. Okay? 3 ounces to grams. Well, if we look at that chart, 1 ounce is approximately 28.35 grams. Okay? So all I would have to do is take 12 ounce and multiply that times 28.35 grams over 1 ounce. So my ounces will cross out, and that will give me approximately 340.2 grams. And lastly, I have 11 yards to meters. Well, 1 yard is approximately 0.914 meters. So I would take 11 yards times 0.914 meters over 1 yard. Remember, your denominator is whatever unit of measure you have. So I can cross out yards, and then I have 1 times 0.914, and I get approximately 10.05 meters. Okay? All right. Let's look at this real-world problem. So use the information at the left to determine how many centimeters per second a giant tortoise travels at top speed. So to convert the feet, it says a top speed of a giant tortoise can travel about 900 feet per hour. So to convert feet to centimeters, you're going to use 1 foot equals 12 inches, and 1 inch is approximately 2.54 centimeters. So to convert hours to seconds, you can use 1 hour equals 60 minutes and 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So I can use this, which is how they did it, or don't forget 1 hour also equals 3,600 seconds. So you can use either one, okay? So again, if you don't remember how many seconds are an hour, this is the easy way to figure that out. So I put everything I need together. So I have 900 feet per 1 hour. Now, I want to know what's the top speed centimeters per second, okay? So I can convert feet to centimeters first. So I know that I have 12 inches is 1 foot, okay? So then I have 2.54 centimeters to 1 inch. So if I cross out my feet, cross out my inches, I'm left with centimeters on top, which is what I want. Now I need that to seconds. So 1 hour over 60 minutes and 1 minute over 60 seconds. Cross out hours, cross out minutes, and I'm left with seconds on the bottom, which is what I'm looking for. So I know I have my problem set up correctly, okay? So if I just multiply everything straight across, I end up with 27,432 centimeters to 3,600 seconds. Then I just take 27,432 divided by 3,600, and I get 7.62 centimeters over 1. Or I could say at top speed, a giant tortoise will travel 7.62 centimeters per second. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at this last one. At a recent Winter Olympics, USA short track speed skater Apollo Ano won a gold medal by skating about 12 meters per second. Okay? Rounded to the nearest hundredth, so that's important. How many miles per hour is this? Okay, we want to know how many miles per hour he's traveling. So we know it's 12 meters per 1 second. Okay? Well, if we want to go miles per hour, we know we have to change seconds to hours. So again, if we want to stay with the 60, we could go 60 seconds to 1 minute, and we can go 60 minutes to 1 hour. Minutes crosses out, seconds crossed out. I'm left with hours per hour. So I know I have it set up right for finding the hours part. But I need to convert that meters to miles as well. Well, I know that there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So I could take 1 kilometer over 1,000 meters. And then I know that there is approximately 0.621, because I looked at that chart I showed you, miles per 1 kilometer. So 0.621 miles over 1 kilometer. Kilometers would cross out, and meters would cross out, and that leaves me with miles on top and hours on bottom, which I'm looking for miles per hour. So it works. So now I just simply multiply straight across. 12 times 60 times 60 times 1 times 0.621, and I end up with 26827.2, and that is all over 1 times 1 times 1 times 1,000 times 1, so 1,000. And when I take 26,827.2 divided by 1,000, I get approximately 26.83 miles per hour. So he was traveling on his skates 26.83 miles per hour. Okay? And we rounded to the hundredths place. All right, that's all there is to it. So if you got any questions, let me know.